Well, hello! I'd like to welcome you to another one of my first impressions videos. I have looked at this pen, but I have not written with it or done anything with it. And I forgot which one it is, because I have two PenBBSs sitting here. So this is a PenBBS. If we look at the end, it's a PenBBS 308. So let me open it up. So the cardboard sleeve came in handy, thanks to an inky accident I had. So on the top we have PenBBS, very hard to read, but it's there. Magnetic closure. So all a bit silly for a fountain pen. And more packaging. So apparently we have, what's it called, a pen kimono. And it's laying in a little squishy bed. So the pen kimono was knotted around it, and it took a long time to open it. But we open up the pen kimono, which I don't know what I will do with it after this. And we pull out, oops, that's not the pen I hoped it was, but that's okay. And it had plastic around it. And actually, this pen interested me because I loved the looks of a Visconti Homo sapiens that came in a finish very similar to this. But with more digits in the price. So this is a PenBBS. Oh, 266. So apparently the 308 means absolutely nothing. So we'll take a look here. So the nib, PenBBS since 2005. F. Is that an Ultra? I cannot for the life of me make what that word is, either on the screen or with my eye. So hopefully when I edit this video I can make out what that word is. The feed, it's got a little more texture than your typical plastic feed. But very attractive. I loved this finish when I saw it on the Visconti, and it was only the number of digits in the price that dissuaded me from buying it. Sort of a smooth unscrewing there, partly because there's a rubber or silicone ring there, and then of course the converter with a spring in it to act as an agitator, which, yeah. So let's put all that back together. We'll do a glamour. I will do a glamour shot for the preview, and then we'll ink it up. And I will edit out the glamour shot for your convenience. I brought down a selection of inks to try out with my first impressions videos. So this is one I've never used before. This is Califolio Olivastri, which I think is a green. Never used it before, just like the pen, so we'll find out. Califolio is in these triangular bottles. You'll see the same bottles with the Diamine special edition inks, certain of their special edition inks. Don't know what that means, if anything. So far, fairly impressed with the pen. I'll be interested to see what this looks like when it gets filled with ink. And still digging that finish. Groovy. Okay, that's not very full fill, so helps if I put it in the ink a little deeper. So that was my fault. I didn't have it far enough into the ink. So I have never used a PenBBS before. I've watched them enough. Chris Rapp 52 does a lot with the PenBBS. I just have not. So we'll find out what I think here. Got myself in trouble doing that with a pen, a Lamy 2000. Caught my sleeve on it and whoop, over she went, nib first onto the floor. That was grand. I will be writing in this notebook, which came as a gift from a viewer in the UK, so unless you live in the UK, don't go looking for this notebook, I guess. So this is a PenBBS. What was the number on it? 266. And there's an F on the nib, so we'll go with fine. The ink in it is Califolio. I'll zoom in here in just a minute. Olivastre. Right? Yeah, close enough. French, so I'm probably brutalized the pronunciation, but I'm used to offending all of my French viewers with my horrible French pronunciation. As far as flex, I'm not seeing any. Perhaps a bit of line variation. Writing reasonably smoothly, not amazing, but feels slightly sticky though. I'm not a fan of that. Wetness and flow. No trouble keeping up. The smear test. This seems somewhat wet, so I expect I'll see some of that, but not amazingly so. Yeah, that's about how much I expected. And then reverse writing, a surprise to you and a surprise to me. Smooth, probably an ultra extra fine. Whoops, and it was off screen. So we'll do a few scribbles while I do my final thoughts with the Pierre Gustafson test. Yeah, it seems to have no trouble keeping up no matter what I do with it here. So, do I like it? Yes, I think it's very attractive. Hopefully this slightly sticky feeling washes off, because ew, I don't really like that in a pen. And the filling worked pretty well. Definitely a beautiful, beautiful finish. And it reminds me very much of a Visconti Homo sapiens that came in a color similar to this. I think the ribbons were a bit more defined in the Visconti, but you know, knock a few digits off the price. I'll live. Nice inner cap in there. I just, very nicely put together package. I can see why people like these pens. We'll see how I end up feeling. It's going to take some time to grow on me. And something steel because it likes the magnetic closure in the notebook. That took me by surprise. Okay, so I like the pen. It's a good pen. I'm not ready to call it a great pen, but I'll be interested to write with it more and get to know it and see how I feel about it. As always, this is a first impressions video, so anything I say here may change by the time I finally review it, whenever that happens to be, which could be a year from now. Because I like to do at least 2 full fills on a pen, possibly more, before I review them. So you can't expect instant turnaround on reviews from this channel. But that's okay. They're lived in by the time I review them. So that's my first impression of the PenBBS, and my first PenBBS pen I've ever used. PenBBS 266. So thank you for watching. If you want to comment on this pen and your experience with it, or perhaps some suggestions to make these first impressions better, please feel free to leave a comment down below. So thank you for watching. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.